Howdy, hey, hello there. It's the start of 2023, and that means it's time for 2022 sketchbook tour. I got a whole 4 sketchbooks done this time, but we may as well start with the first. As you can see with this one, I poorly drew a poster cover for it. I was actually meant to have a video for that, but I was having a horrible time with editing, so that never came out. Mostly because I accidentally got my scalp in frame, which was not good. But anyways, started it off with a sketch of Sparks, my character. I think I early on watched, Encanto with my roommate. Good movie. Not quite sure I got the skin tone right there. Might need to be a bit darker. There was sketches for my D&D character. There is a fell sand. And just there was a lot of skeletons at this point in time. It's going back through an Undertale phase. Got some more of Sparks. Got some little sketches on the back of receipt paper, because I was working in a restaurant and would do that when I was bored. It's meant to be a more fairy version of Sparks. We've also got some Grelbies, because I was meant to be working on a Grelby dating sim at that point. Unfortunately, production on that has hit a bit of a pause. Not sure if they're going to make it still. The main lead person, due to personal circumstances, had to quit, which, fair enough, things happen. I am still willing to help them if they want me to, though, but we'll see how that goes. Also got a little bit of Marble Hornets, because I go back to that every once in a while. Had a big phase where I was a big fan of Dust as well. I think it's because of a fic I read called Doom and Gloom All Up in Your Room that was written by KG Doodles that was quite good. But yeah, mostly Sparks and mostly skeletons at this stage. The occasional other things, like my very questionable gouache painting of a wither. Alright, this one was also when I was dog watching, because I was somewhere and I was waiting for my friends to show up, and I was like, let's just draw all the dogs. These you also can't see super well because of the carpet coming through. But yes. Oh, I still need to draw that one. That was based on a character from Pretty Boy Detective Club, a very underrated anime. It was very good, though there are some bits towards the end that get a bit uncomfortably fan servicey for how young the characters are. This was the basis for my art style challenge, which I believe I did actually post that video at least. And this was me trying to figure out how to draw papyri emoting, because their faces are very hard to draw. That's my best pose sketch I did all year, I think. This was me making up a weird little forest fairy fae creature that I never actually did anything else with. Should come back to her though, because she was cute. As you can see, lots more skeletons. Pose reference, but using skeletons to specifically dance sands, or dance tail sands. I had a bit of a problem early this year, as you can see. And that's where I got Gizmo. She's just there. She was also meant to be introduced in the video where I was drawing the cover for this book, which I didn't actually do until I almost finished this book, and then didn't pose because, yeah, that's where I got the Gajinka design, because it was her as a little tiny human child. And also a couple of sketches from a friend. There's Nightmare Drip, because he should have fancier clothes than what he has, and there's what I was doing to try and figure out what I wanted to do with the cover. Again, I did actually film a video for that, but never actually went anywhere because I just... you know? My scalp went in frame, and I was like, I don't know how to deal with that. Here's the second sketchbook from this year, though. This was a year of trying many different, sketchbook shapes. This was the first of the weird ones and is also a similar shape to the one I have currently for the start of this year. But anyways, this was a concept for, well, all of this was concepts for a Undertale zine I took part in. These were designs I was doing to make a little, what's it called? The little guys who walk around on your screen. Shimeji, dust Shimeji, that's what it was. That's the one I settled on. I thought he looked quite cute. Did actually also finish it, and I think the file is available to get somewhere connected to the zine. I will just say, however, that I named the files wrong, so if you're going to use them, you'll need to rename all of them. There's Chris, Frisk, and Chara. Actually kind of like that drawing, and I should turn it into a digital one. There was some background practice. I actually did a little bit of that at the start of the year. Here's a weird sporty thing that I made up. I actually kind of like them. I should draw them again. And this is where I got into the Pokemon Train Men. That's the next thing that I get fixated on, mostly because I kept getting recommended videos about them on Tumblr. Oh, there's Spampton. I do love him, he's funny. But yes, no, I kept seeing stuff about them on Tumblr, and I was like, wow, I really like these guys. And then I got stuck on them for a while. And then I got really busy and wasn't able to draw properly for ages. But as you can see, lots of Trainman drawings. This is actually a thumbnail that one of my bigger drawings on Instagram was based on. There's a magpie sketch. There are some outfit designs, because I was starting to think about, like, if I was to make myself as a Pokemon trainer / gym leader, soul leader, because I occasionally think back to that, because while it has some issues, it's still one of my favorite series. More prospective gym leader outfits. None of these stick. I do eventually settle on one I like there. Well, I say gym leader, but it's more like Pokemon trainer. Doing an actual gym leader design with my friend Sachi gradually on Twitch, although it's been a while and I forgot to save the video. More train men. Pokemon fusions, because they are fun to draw, and there's a pretty decent one I did of Volo. There was a siren that I just drew to take up space on the opposite side, and there were some funky pencil sketches. These were obviously watercolor pencils. I actually really liked how these two turned out. And here is getting closer to what I end up sticking with the trainer design. Not quite there yet. There was me drawing Eleonora, again my D&D character I mentioned earlier, but with a closer to finalized design. I do quite like her. Oh! I forgot I wanted to do Pokemon region posters. I should still try and do those. I did actually end up doing these 3 as like quick sketchy drawings there. Not these there. I should definitely get back to that. There was stuff I was looking at for an AU comic I kind of still want to make with those guys, but we'll see if we ever actually get there. There was a if I was working with trains design. I think this is the design I was sticking with for trainer clothes, because I really badly want to make that jacket. It's my goal to make one similar to this sometime this year. We'll fucking see if I get around to it. There's Volar. There's that again. There is my ideal Pokemon team. I gave them all little names as well. I can't actually have this complete team in any game that's out right now, though, I think. Though I was drawing them based on Berg poses because I thought that would be funny. There I was messing around with gouache. As you can see, painting is not something I'm particularly good at. Kind of, actually. I do okay with characters. That pink was too dark for shiny Celebi there. That was idea planning. I'm not too bothered by you guys reading that. Although that being said, we will come across a section on a Fae AU I wanted to do. Please ignore the use of the word changeling. Didn't know it had quite bad connotations in relevance to this at the time. It's not they're just fairies now. I can't actually tell you what this is for because it's spoilers for my friends for D&D, though I don't actually know if they'll watch this video. And then this was when I was doing Black and White Game Jam. I went through a very big design iteration process to sort of get the designs for the characters we were doing. So basically it's a game based on chess pieces. This is specifically for the rook, who I wanted to base on a gargoyle. This is the closest to what ended up being the final design, although I did change it a bit. There's sort of closer to what he ended up looking like. There was my level idea, though that ended up being a bit too complicated, but I think it's still kind of a cool looking drawing at least. It was me trying to conceptualize a bit more. This is the bishop design. I actually really like a lot of these, but the one that ended up sticking is kind of a mixture between that fucking thing. Actually, no, this one was closest, but his face was changed a little bit because my friends looked at that and they were like, that's hilarious, let's use him. And I was like, fuck, okay then. This is the king's design. I think I did some good shape language with all of these guys, actually. I should probably try and exaggerate my stuff a lot more. What did we end up using? I feel like it was something in between this and this. This one was closest. And then there was me trying to figure out what to do as like the thumbnails and the little icon thing you click on your computer to open a game. I don't remember what those are called. And that's when Technoblade died. Very sad event. He was a very funny guy. This was commission work for a physics guy I sometimes do stuff for. There was me drawing the Submas again. More commission work with science dudes. The science guy I was helping. That's why there's a lot of old looking men in a slightly more realistic style. Did a TikTok designing a character challenge because it looked fun, because I also like monsters. Then I tried to use washi tape to help color in a drawing. I don't hate how this turned out, but it also wasn't the best. There's those guys again. There was design for a corset. I say I started making it, but I just cut out the patches. I might try and make it in a video as well, but we'll see how I do with that. Spoilers. Salamander, because I was bored. And here I was doing weird little creature drawings. I should draw weird little creatures more because it is fun and I need to get good at it. And there's where that sketchbook finished, and there's a free sticker I got from Sticker Mule when I made stuff for GammaCon. Yeah, there is two. And here's the next one. Yay! These two are actually my designs, and so are those two. Everything else I bought from conventions though, because I just like decorating my stickers with decorating my sketchbook with stickers from other artists. These are all fawnwood, like those larger creature ones. They do excellent creature designs and they are so pretty. Yes, there's that. I actually really liked that drawing. That's a signature from Jazza, because I met him at PAX when I went there and I was like, wow, it's that fucking guy. Excuse the language. I grew up watching his videos and I was always like, oh, Australian art guy like me. I also graduated uni this year. No, it was exciting to see him. And here were some sketches based on a ghost bow drawing I did. This is closest to what it ended up being, except I actually crammed in a lot more detail and really liked that end result. Need to work more on my background, sir. These are based on a Monster of the Week campaign I was playing. I think that's the only sketching I actually did for it. Pokemon Gajinkas. I only painted the ones that I liked the designs of. Oh, this was when I was trying to do a more complex background piece as well. Based on Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think this is closest to what I ended up going with. It took a little while because, again, backgrounds. That was a commission. That was me shittily drawing Ingo with a texter, although honestly it was quite fun. This was the lowest quality drawing, but also somehow the best one on the page. There was a really good sketch I did of Guzma that I also need to transition into a digital drawing. Thea Submas again, mushroom designs for D&D stuff. There were some in some of the older sketchbooks as well. There was me writing down my code bullshit, except this time it was Pokemon language and I was supposed to practice that and then I didn't. By this point I realized that the C word was not appropriate for use and changed it to Fae stuff. As an explanation as to why, it's just because I think in the fandom, Ingo and Emmett are often... People like to think that they are autistic, which, fair enough, we need representation where we can get it. What was... never mind those. Where we can get it, and it's sort of... Apparently Changeling has a lot of connotations with that, and just people being very awful to their children. Which I didn't know at the time. Makes sense in retrospect, though, so I, going forward, changed names around and made them not that. Also, just for context with this, I was trying to do a solar punk design of Sparks. This is what ended up being the final thing. There's also a cool drawing of that on my Instagram. But yeah, it's, oh, and there's Miraculous Ladybug, because I read a good comic and then tried to watch the show, and I was like, I can't actually deal with these fucking characters, Jesus Christ. But it's, yeah. Basically, not appropriate to call them changelings because of bad connotations with how the term has been used to harm autistic people in the past, which, again, didn't know at the time, have changed now. Sorry. That was tickets to something. A Crystal and Rock show, that's right. But just to explain so people know, Hot Girl Summer. But it's, yeah, probably, hopefully fine, because I realized the mistake and changed it, but also if it's not, again, I'm very sorry, I didn't realize at the time. There's some spammed in. That was based on the ad for his plush. I do actually now have his plush. It's the way people should advertise at me, because that's funny. And here are my sketches I was using to help me decide what to do for my Inktober stuff. Speaking of Inktober, I will actually have a video coming out for that shortly after this. I did actually finish all the drawings in October. I've just been very bad at editing things. This is coming out first just because I don't have to edit anything and we'll be slapping it straight on YouTube. But no, we'll see the final versions of this soon. But yes, I've done such good preparation sketches. I say sarcastically, but some of them genuinely were pretty decent. And then we're done. And that is that sketchbook. One left. The final one, number 4. None of these stickers are mine. This one was from Cult of the Lamb, though, because they were at PAX, because they're an Australian group that made the game, which was funky. Have I actually played said game? No. Don't mind my shuffling, I'm getting pins and needles. Once again, Sparks. One of my friends wanted me to draw Among Us in every page of this. I think I did, but like, I guess you guys can do a little hunt for it. There was Iona just after she got introduced because she was funky. There's Chainsaw Man stuff from memory because we watched the first episode. Apparently more skeletons. I never escaped from the skeletons, trust me. They actually not in this sketchbook, but they do get slapped by them again. There's some reasonably good, actually, Marble Hornet sketches, and I think the best I've drawn Jay ever. because I was like, I feel like I'm going to get back into it, and I kind of did, but then we didn't actually finish watching it because I was watching it with my roommates, and now I'm back out of it, which is very sad. But yeah, enjoy the also more creaturey eyeless Jack. Then there are the train guys again, because I was like, I still love them. These ones, these are fun. These were designs I made based on popular horror characters for a D&D one-shot. So this one's based on Sally Williams. This one's based on the Operator / Slenderman. This one's based on Frankenstein / Frankenstein's monster, kind of as a fusion. Mosky and Hoodie. That one was just a slutty vampire girl because I thought that was funny. Got Jason and Freddy. I thought it would be funny to make Jeff an angry little gnome, so that's what happened there. And a healer version of Eyeless Jack. And then there was also a Siren and a Rat King. But yeah. It was a fun thing. That's a sketch based on, obviously, Wendell and Wild. It's a very pretty looking stop motion film. Not quite as sure about the story, but I did really like the representation of this character because they were very good trans rep. The art style was also quite good, but again, the story was a bit Here was some figure sketching because I was like, I haven't done that in ages and should probably practice. Here is where I made a skirt, kind of. I had a dress and the zip broke, and I was like, I've wanted a slit skirt, let's make one. And it turned out quite cute, I think. So that's, yeah, a page of drawing that. We were watching some sort of Chinese drama anime when I was drawing these. Don't know if it's still an anime, if it's Chinese, but whatever. Really shitty gouache painting. Woo! Video game thing I want to make. Ignore that page as well. And here I got back into Mystic Messenger. It's been a problem, but these are nice pencil drawings, so I'll let you have a closer look. Was a face earner for a friend. That was me drawing a skeleton with watercolor pencils. I have been enjoying some colored pencil work recently, though. There is, once again, Ingo and Emmett, my boys. That was a more evil version of Sparks. This was a bunny girl. She was cute. I should draw her again. Rats. Me imagining having a cool pinstripe suit that I will probably never have. Commissioned from a friend for their boyfriend's Christmas present. This is me making an alternate version of Chandelure. This is the one I ended up going with. I quite like that drawing as well. Also up on my Instagram. There's the batter from Off, because I very briefly got back into that and then got back out of it. Here is the actual gym leader persona thing, because I was doing it again with my friend Sachi, and she was like, hey, what if we do a thing where they look like opposite aesthetics or something. So hers is a ghost type gym leader that looks like a fairy type gym leader, and mine's meant to be a fairy type gym leader that looks more like a ghost type gym leader. Yes, there's a very big pencil drawing of 707 because I like him. And he was a cute character that I made up, and again, should draw more. Need to just have solid OCs. I have plans to make a long Furby with a friend because I think it would be funny, but we'll see what I actually do for the design. That was the one I liked the most there. Mothman. There's Seiran. Problematic fave from Mystic Messenger. There was some paintings. Best one on that page is 7. And there's my cat. There was her doing a big yawn. There was a weird siren thing and some random monstera leaves. And these are my plans of clothes I want to make this year. So you'll notice a reoccurrence of the patchwork corset. Here I want to make a hoodie top. Like, you remember a few years ago there were those really dumb hoodies that was like just the sleeves and had like this weird little triangle thing. They look kind of stupid, and I was like, I want one. There is that jacket, and that's sort of like the body bit of a Sparks dress. And there's Seiran again. This was me doing drawing reference practice using photos Wilbur Soot put on his Instagram because his band photos have very good lighting. Oh, it was actually specifically lighting reference. There you go. That is a drawing I still need to make digital of Spampton because, again, love him. He's a weird little freak of a guy and he's great. There's Rika. I think this was just me copying photos on Pinterest so I could get more pose reference done because I don't do enough sketching reference. Or felt like I hadn't. That was from the top of my head. These were once again from Instagram. If you want to get better at drawing poses, Pinterest. If you want to get better at poses, look at Pinterest. Good for clothes as well. That was based on the ugly sweater things. I just thought they were funny. That was a colored pencil drawing I liked until I put black Posca over the top and it leaked. So you can see from that, and kind of ruined the whole drawing, although apparently people think it looks intentional. It was not, and I'm mad about it. Clothing sketches with sparks in some of my outfits. More Mystic Messenger paintings. None of those ones turned out good this time. It's me redrawing Artemis because I haven't for a little while, and by a little while I mean a few years. Miku, we love Hatsune Miku. Weird Red Riding Hood type character. Seiran and Seven. That is not ship art for any weirdos who think it is. They're just catching a train home together because they are siblings and that would be gross. And this is thumbnails for it because I wanted to do a digital drawing with Rei/Seiran. I'll probably use this one. There was a weird demon character who I drew badly. This was me doing pose reference based on some K-pop books that one of my roommates had. Because they were good for clothing, at least, and kind of pose stuff. There was me drawing W.D. Gaster because I thought that would be fun. I don't really know what this one is, but it is cute. And there was me making Seven into a magical girl, and also Rei. Rewatched Fruits Basket. Almost done here. Made a weird little space girl. Was watching, what's it called? Stranger Things for the first time, and I was told to try and design a Demogorgon. Well, not knowing what it looks like. I think my design is cooler than the show's actual design. Even though it's very rough and sketchy, but like, you know. Tiger Boy / Cat Boy. More Soul Eater. Me and some outfits I recently bought. And that's the end of my everything I did in 2023. 2022, I haven't done much in 2023 yet. Anyways, I'll see you guys next year, I guess. I hope you enjoyed that tour. Again, when I get around to it, we will have a very late Inktober video up. Just have to do the actual editing. I promise you, the drawings were all done in Inktober. In October, you can check my Instagram for the dates to make sure, though. Anyways, have a nice rest of the day / evening / whatever it is for you. Bye.